G'day, this is Captainoob, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to punch Earl to death. The rocks fell for dramatic effect. Okay, so here we are inside the mine. We've got about 3.5 minutes until the rocks drop and we're ready to go. So let's use this time to look at the gear I'm using. I recommend using the very most powerful unarmed weapon you have, and if you've got a bloodied swing speed strength power fist, then you pretty much can't go better than that. Now for the gear, in terms of armor, it's very, very important that you've got asbestos lining in your chest piece, as discovered by Xera and reported on by Tier. First of all, if you have asbestos lining, that falling damage over time of the ceiling, which I have, complained about to the end of time. Well, I don't have to complain about that anymore because I can counter it directly. Grab asbestos and you'll be, you won't take any damage from the champagne showers. And you'll see with the armor bits for the arms, I've got brawling, which increases my damage. All of my urban scout stuff is shadowed. It doesn't show that it's shadowed because, well, it's painted with atomic camo. Yeah, Felucia camo paint. So yeah, that's there for being stealthy, and I've got muffled on my legs to make my movement sound, as far as the enemy is concerned, a lot less quiet. You could probably get away with one of these, allowing you for deep pocketed or ultralight if you wanted to get a little bit more carry weight or AP, but 2 muffled, can't really go too wrong with that, and the +1 strength with each of these is giving me a big old damage bonus. Let's talk about the build. Obviously, I'm going to be using the Barbarian and Blocker perk for defensive bonuses. Blocker is more important here, but Barbarian helps with bullets. When you get punched, Blocker, half damage off any melee attacks that you get is just massive. Incisor, Martial Artist, and Iron Fist are there for damage purposes. Martial Artist for swing speed, Incisor for punching through armor. Quite literally, there's not much else going on here. Fireproof as well. It says flame attacks, right? But it's got nothing to do with the actual falling embers. That's just there for any explosions that I might occur, myself, self-inflicted explosions included. We've got Lone Wanderer. If you want to, do this slightly faster, go a little bit more risk for reward, you can chuck on Tenderizer, but getting that extra resistance percentage is good. And it also synergizes well with the Blocker perk. Probably don't stack, but, it helps. So we've got Sneak and Ninja all the way up for getting damage with Sneak Attack criticals, because that is the way I'm going to be doing this. And Forcer is there to cripple a limb. Now what you want to do with Earl is cripple his face, because if you cripple his heads, 1 head equals all heads are crippled if you're not sure. It lowers their perception stat, which means you're less likely to be detected. At least that's standard with enemies in any Fallout game, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm not a dynamiter, but, judging by his behavior with a crippled face, I'd say it's a lot easier to sneak from experience, but anecdotal evidence is enough. If you want to look that up, then go ahead. We've got Sneak, obviously, at maximum escape artist to slip back into caution at will, and Adrenaline is there to give us a little bit more damage as we're going along. Bloody Massacre as well. Better criticals, I will not be using that, so this is kind of a freebie here. We can grab something like Class Freak, reduce the mutation debuffs, and we're good to go. So, you notice how I've kept these peanuts alive, and that is for very good reason. And I call them peanuts because Wendigo spawn is 4 syllables, and peanuts is 2. And I referred to them as a peanut gallery because if they're unaggroed, they just sort of hang out in the center. There's a T-posing murmur again. That's pretty standard. Must have devoured the Wendigo corpse. Anyways, I'm kind of wasting time here, so we'll just get this last kill, and then we'll start off the fight with 30% more adrenaline damage, which is very useful. Now you want to make the most use out of this possible, so you want to sprint up to about where these lights are with Earl, and then sneak the rest of the way. Unfortunately, he's going to do his standing up animation, but if you manage to catch him before that animation finishes, you'll find that, you'll get a few easy hits on him. And since he's detected us for the first time, he'll call in some peanuts, which we'll quickly dispatch of, and he's out and about now. Now, the easiest way to combat this guy is to obviously get yourself into caution, nice and safe from everything. That was a very cheeky stagger from the Wendigo that actually saved me. That is unfortunate, but we don't have to worry about running into damage over time. Alright, one thirsty Wendigo goes away. Time to use the shotgun. So, like I said before, cripple the head. If you've got a critical around for it, definitely do that. But what you want to do is just cripple one leg. That'll just slow him down enough. If you cripple both legs, he stops dead, which is normally fine for ranged builds, but if he stops completely, you'll find that his side turrets on his face will fire around him and leave those damage over time puddles, which I am currently sitting in right now, and that's not good. The way you want to attack Earl is try to keep out of his cone of vision as best you can, and the way you do that is just sort of circle strafe around him, and there you go. There's a little bit of that damage over time loogie nonsense that he hucks around. So you want to avoid that as best you can. We'll just pop a diluted Radex. We're doing this as basically as risky as possible, but he's mutated now, which means his limbs are back. But as you can tell with my armor, my benefits of sneaking, and I'm power attacking here, so that's getting me extra damage, but I can basically run rings around this guy and he can't do anything. And right now we're under the champagne shower, but luckily for me, I've got no problems evading that because I've got the chest piece of the what's it called, the asbestos line variety, and that's basically how easy it is. If you can get yourself nice and hidden throughout that, cripple his face to make sure he can't see you, stay out of his cone of vision while circling around him, punching him, and you make sure none of the peanuts attack you whilst you're at it, you can complete this event rather easily. And it may take some time to practice to getting to this level of efficiency with this event, but you know, it's quite easy. I don't think I even died there. We came close. The food meter's looking like, I don't know, 80% right now, so if that had dropped another 5%, we would have lost all of our benefits out of well-fed and would have been killed on the next bit of damage we took, whether it was radiation or hits. But yep, that's how you do it. Obviously, this build is very specialized in doing that. Potentially, you could do this at full health with less risk to yourself and just make up for the loss of damage using chems like Fury. You can use the massive buffs from Nuka Shine, Overdrive. You can use all of the food buffs like a glowing meat steak for extra damage, Yaoguai roast. I guess the roast does it as well, but the Yaoguai ribs and also the Deathclaw steak, anything that increases your strength in turn will increase melee damage. So, you know, Bloodied is not the only way to do it, but it is the most time efficient way, and we're out. Okay, since I kind of crushed this event the first time I did it, like the first recording, I'm just going to go back on a few things and try to clarify. So, when you're actually attacking Earl and you're spinning around him, doing your punching attacks, you have to keep a little bit of an eye open. Firstly, you need to watch your detection bar constantly, because that's going to determine whether you get killed or not. Basically, whenever he's facing you, all you need to do is just get ready to run away, because as you can tell, he's nearly facing me, and once we go into caution, that's when we want to turn around as fast as we can and start running. I'm not actually going to do this in one punch, am I? Well, I am. I guess I'll be launching another nuke then. Okay, no timer this time. I just want to pace myself. And as you can tell right now, he's munching on the corpse, so his animation will take a little while for him to get back up, which leaves you plenty of time to, you know, just whack him in the face a little bit. Also, when you're dancing around him, if you hit between his legs, you do a lot more damage. And no, I'm not doing this again. So to simulate us being in danger, we'll turn the light on, and then you see we're in danger, we gotta run. Now, when you get into danger, he's gonna do one of three things. Firstly, he's going to call in some peanut support, and you could potentially exploit this if you wanted to get an extra little bit of damage when you punch through a little bit of adrenaline, if you've got that perk equipped, which is nice, but keep in mind that once the peanuts have been deployed, he won't call for any more. So once you, once the peanuts are deployed and you get spotted, then what he's going to do is either do his raging panic shout to make you run away uncontrollably, or he's going to stomp on your sorry ass. And if he curb stomps you, if Serendipity doesn't save you, he's going to do a lot of damage and kill you pretty much instantly at this sort of range of health. Come on, Earl, open your eyes up, mate. So get into the habit of just basically running away, as like watch your caution meter and you should be fine, or your detection meter, sorry. This should be easy enough for the players on console, or for those who use controllers, because you don't have to, you know, specifically run out of runway like a mouse would to do this. So if you've got the correct sensitivity, you could just circle around him nice and slowly. If you need to practice on that, there's plenty of posts out there in the wasteland to practice on, but, you know, it's pretty straightforward. So, you know, once he is screaming, you'll have that blue face sort of thing happen, the effect around him. That is your chance. It's only a small window. It's kind of your chance to point your camera in a position where you won't run into some sort of environmental hazard, like that if you're not wearing the asbestos line stuff, or if you're running to the corner, that poison stuff will wreck you pretty quickly. And keep in mind that you can't stim pack whilst you're doing that little panicking animation. Let's just make sure it doesn't forget about me here. Take that. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you want to swing things in your favor properly, just kill the peanuts, because they'll just be gathering around here and, you know, teleporting in and out of existence at will. I said they were dumb, I didn't say they were powerful. I didn't say they weren't powerful. Also, good way of harvesting screws this way. But, you know, if you want to make sure that he does call in the cavalry when he spots you, excuse me, Mr. Earl. Remove all of the ads and he'll want to call in his support. And there is a prime example of me getting my ass frenzied or panicked and then running into some damage over time. So if I had, in that situation, I probably would have pointed the camera out towards that excavator forklift thingy, or back there, although there's a damage over time loogie there. A lot of this is kind of reading his actions, but you can manipulate him slightly by, you know, setting up the field correctly. Wow, you're not even trying, Earl. I'm right here, mate. Come on. Give me the old punch in the face. But there's really not much else to it other than that, really. It's a pretty straightforward fight. Granted, the gear is going to make it a lot easier if you've got harder to detect, and it doesn't stack, but man, this feels effective. Oh yeah, that's friendly fire, mate. I guess he's punishing him beyond death for being a useless peanut, which, you know, why wouldn't you? Also, great source of XP here, and if you don't want to punch these guys, you can just shotgun them if you want to pull out any weapon with a suppressor. That'll do. Let's talk about breaking line of sight with this guy, because when he detects you, he's going to start spitting the ranged loogies from his center turret there. What you can do to avoid that easily is just break line of sight, and he can't possibly hit you. If you're a long distance away, his projectiles won't reach you super quickly. Keep in mind that he is a quick runner though, and he will close the distance, and the closer he is to you, the easier it will be for him to hit you. But, you know, if you've got escape artist, he'll shoot to where you last were. He's not a very bright person, is he? Is it darker in here than usual? But, you know, whilst he's, you know, sitting around there vibing, this is a perfect opportunity for some camera shots right here, mate. Come on, Mr. Earl. Interestingly, I guess it's got flash photography on it because he's detecting me whilst I'm doing this. Come on, mate. Alright. So that's the reinforcement call. So the next time he sees me, he'll probably just curb stomp me. Now, the first time you die, he's still seeing me. And I noticed there was the blue faces showing up, so I pointed my camera over here where I wouldn't get destroyed by damage over time. And I know this video is kind of dragging on for a long time now, so we'll try to wrap this up quickly. But, you know, there's the curb stomp, by the way, and the danger from when I went, the window from when I went to danger to I got killed was small, so you need to be on your toes. You can't take this guy lightly. He will mess you up. First time you die, it's fine. If you get a death penalty over 15 seconds, he'll heal up like all the time afterwards, so that's something to be aware of. To get him to stop auto-healing like that, all you need to do is just kill him, just shoot him, get him back into caution, you'll stop auto-healing. So we'll quickly kill this guy and then I'll see you outside. Alrighty, sometime later he falls down, and actually, you know, he didn't explode this time, so yep, this is a perfect opportunity to take a photo of his dumb ass. Ah, look at his dumb Skrillex haircut. What an idiot. Okay, we skipped the fade out because, you know, the old hard drive is not as fast as she should be, and the rewards are as such. Some plushie. I think I picked one of those up last night. Yep, that's pretty much done. I've explained the build before actually going into the fight, but, you know, there might have been stuff that I've left unclear here. Maybe it's clear cut for me because, you know, I've already formulated the strategies in my brain. I tried to put it into words as best I can, but you know, if something's unclear, I mean, I'll probably be at work by the time this is posted, but you know, maybe the community will help you out as well. I'm actually interested to see how fast the kill was there, because I'm thinking it was pretty quick. And before I die, let me just eat some gulper, some nice free-range gulper. Well, I guess it was poisoned free-range gulper because now I'm dead. And on that note, I think that's going to close out this video. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck on punching Earl in the legs until he dies.